Okay, so no one in campus. Okay, no issue. Chalo. So in earlier lecture, we have started 80D, section 80D, right? I have given you one question to solve. Illustration number 6. Have you tried? Have you tried the question? Chalo, let's solve the question. So first of all, Mr. A, aged 40 years, paid medical insurance premium of 20,000 rupees during the previous year 21-22 to ensure his health as well as the health of his spouse. So he has paid medical insurance for himself and spouse rupees 20,000. So let me write down over here 20,000 rupees. Medical insurance premium. Then he also paid 47,000 rupees during the year to ensure the health of his father, aged 63 years, who is not dependent on him. So 47,000 rupees. 47,000 rupees for father, right? Medical insurance premium 47,000 rupees paid for the father. He contributed 3,600 rupees to the central government health scheme. So now 3,600 rupees for central government health scheme for himself. And he also insured 3,000 rupees in cash on preventive health checkup. So preventive health checkup 3,000 rupees, right? And for his spouse and 4,000 rupees for his father. So now preventive health checkup done for his father 4,000 rupees. So now we are supposed to calculate deductions allowable under section 80D. So deductions allowable under section 80D. So we have 20,000 as medical insurance premium, 3,600 central government health scheme, preventive health checkup, 3,000 rupees. Now, what is the maximum limit for himself as the age is 40 years? Mr. A is not senior citizen. So what is the maximum limit? Class. Yes. 25,000. Dilip, look. Contributed 3,600 for central government health scheme. So we have written 3,600 for central government health scheme and 3,000 rupees for health checkup. Both are separate. So we have written 3,000 for health checkup. Okay. Now, maximum limit that can be availed is 25,000 rupees. 25,000 rupees. So here the total is 26,600 rupees. So is it allowable? Answer is no. So what we can do, we can claim full 20,000 of medical insurance premium, 3,600 for central government health scheme, but we cannot claim full 3,000 rupees for health checkup. Why? Because the maximum limit is 25,000. So we can do one thing, 25,000 minus 20,000 minus 3,600. So we will get the answer, that is 1400. 1,400 can be claimed as preventive health checkup. What we are concerned is 25,000 rupees maximum benefit available, as Mr. A is not senior citizen. Mr. A aged 40 years only. That's why he is not senior citizen. So maximum limit is 25,000 rupees. Now, for his father is senior citizen. Now, 63 years age. So, what is the limit available? So, limit available is 50,000 rupees. But again, the question is, we have invested 51,000. We have paid 51,000. So 47,000 rupees fully allowed. But for preventive health checkup, only 3,000 rupees will be allowed. So 25,000 rupees for Mr. A and 50,000 rupees is for father of Mr. A will be allowed. Are you getting this, class? Is it clear? Payments made allowed under section 80B. Is it clear? Simple? Chalo. One more question is given. Try to solve this question. Let's first check the answer part. Here is the answer. The same answer as we have discussed in Excel sheet. Deduction allowable under section 80D. Assessment year 22-23, 26,600 we invested, but we can claim 25,000 only, as the maximum limit is 25,000 rupees. Similarly, for his father. So the total deduction available is 25,000 plus 50,000, 75,000 rupees. Clear? Chalo. Illustration 7. Try to solve this question at home. We will discuss illustration 7 in next lecture, okay? But I want answers from your side. Next section. Deduction in respect of maintenance including medical treatment of dependent disabled person. Section 80 double D. Deduction in respect of maintenance or medical treatment of dependent disabled person. Yes, Uttam. You are asking or you are answering? So what is the query exact? Why 25,000 and why 50,000? Is it what you are asking? So in last lecture we discussed, Uttam, that 25,000 is the maximum limit under section 80D. Here, the maximum limit is 25,000. But in case of any of the person is senior citizen, then limit will be exceed to 50,000 rupees. So if I am taking medical insurance premium of mine, then I can get 25,000. But if I am senior citizen, then I will be eligible for 50,000 rupees. Similarly, if I'm taking medical insurance of my father. If my father is senior citizen, then I will get 50,000. Otherwise, I will get 25,000 rupees only. I think it is clear now. Okay. So section 80 double D. 80 double D provides deduction to the SSC who is resident in India being individual and HUF. So it is available for individual and Hindu undivided family HUF also. Payment qualifying. Which type of payments are allowed? So first one, incurred for medical treatment like nursing, training, rehabilitation, of dependent person being a person with disability or paid or deposited under a scheme framed in this behalf by life insurance corporation LIC or any other insurer or administrator or specified company as referred to in section 2 subsection H of UTI Act, Unit Trust of India Act 2002. The scheme should provide payment of annuity or lump sum payment of dependent person being a person with disability in the event of death of individual or member of HUF in whose name subscription was made, and the SSC must nominate either the dependent being a person with disability or any other person or trust to receive the payment in his on his behalf. So in short, if you are taking care of disabled person, if you are taking care of disabled person, then you will be eligible for whatever payment you are doing, like nursing, training, rehabilitation center, or rehabilitation of a dependent person or a person with disability disabled. Okay. Now, the benefit of deduction under this section is also available to the SSE incurring expenditure on maintenance, including medical treatment of person suffering from autism, cerebral palsy, and multiple disabilities. So these are some of the examples of disease. The most important part is this. Quantum of deduction is 75,000 rupees in case of severe disability. Sorry, quantum of deduction is 75,000 rupees. You have to read like this. Quantum of deduction is 75,000 rupees, and in case of severe disability, that is, the person with 80% or more disability, the deduction available is 1,25,000 rupees. In 1 mark question, it can be asked, or in 4 mark question, it can be asked, write down short note on section 80 double D. So you have to write down the maximum deduction available is 75,000 rupees, and in case of severe disability, deduction available is 1,25,000 rupees. Is it clear? 75,000, 1,25,000 rupees. You may note down this point. Okay? This is important. How much deduction available? To 75,000 maximum. It can be asked like this. What is the maximum deduction available in 80D? So you have to write down 25,000. If it is for senior citizen, then it is 50,000. What is the maximum deduction available under section 80 double D? Then you have to write down in 80 double D, okay, 75,000. But if it is severe disability, that is 80% or more, then deduction available is 1,25,000 rupees. Now, conditions are given for claiming deduction. SSC should have copy of certificate issued by medical authority. You have the certificate that the person with disabilities act 1995. As per the certificate, it will be allowable. Where the condition of disability requires reassessment or fresh certificate from medical authority shall have to be obtained after expiry of the period mentioned. There will be period mentioned. Okay, that is what written over here. In certificate, if you have seen the certificate of disabled person, then there will be this time period given that for this time period this certificate will be valid. After that, you have to renew it. If the dependent being a person with disability predeceases the individual or member of HUF in whose name subscription was made, then the amount paid or deposited under the scheme would be chargeable to tax in the hands of SSC in the previous year in which it is received by the SSC. It means whatever amount subscription paid, whatever amount you are going to receive in future. For example, you have taken any scheme and you will receive any amount, then it will be chargeable to tax. Chalo, try to solve this question. A very easy question now. Question number 8. Chalo, I want reply from you. The question is for disabled grandfather. But first of all, you have to check who is dependent and who is not dependent. So in case of individual, spouse, children, parents, brother or sister of individual who is fully or mainly dependent on such individual and not claimed deduction under section 80U in computation of his income. It means you have to remember the names: spouse, it means husband or wife; children, parents, brother or sister. So these are the persons for whom you can claim section 80 double D. But the most important line that not claimed deduction under section 80 U. So either you can claim under section 80 double D or in 80 U. Choice is yours. Or in case of HUF, the member that is fully or mainly dependent on such HUF and not claimed a deduction under section 80U. So now it's very easy. Mr. X is resident individual and deposited sum of 50,000 rupees in LIC Life Insurance Corporation every year for maintenance of his disabled grandfather. This is most important, disabled grandfather, who is fully dependent upon him. The disability is one which comes under the Persons with Disability Act 1995. A copy of certificate from medical authority is submitted, compute whether with amount of deduction available under section 80DD or not. Chalo, what's your answer? Whether it is allowable or not? This is for grandfather. Maintenance of his disabled grandfather, whether it is allowable or not. Okay, so all of you have given the correct answer. It is not allowable. Why? Grandfather is not covered under dependent person. The dependent person means wife or husband, children, parents, and brother, sister, not grandparents. So you have to just write down the answer that since the amount deposited by Mr. X was for his grandfather, he will not be allowed deduction under section 80D. Why? Because he is not covered under the definition of dependent disabled person. Now, what would be the answer if it is for dependent father? What would be the answer if it is for dependent father? Yes, obviously. Only father, mother, children are included. Very good, Divyesh. Okay, you have written HUF. HUF means members of HUF. All the members are covered. Okay, very good. All of you have given the correct answer. If it is for dependent father, then you can claim deduction. But since the amount is not given, the percentage of disability is not given. Amount is there, 50,000. Percentage of disability is not given. So if it is disabled person, as it is given, 75,000. In case of his father is severely disabled, then 1,25,000. So section 80DD over. Section 80DD completed. Any doubt? Look, grandfather is in HUF. If grandfather is member of HUF, then it is allowable. Why? Because all the members of HUF are allowed. First of all, HUF can be created by the elder person. Elder person means grandfather. If the HUF is of grandfather, then obviously it is allowed. But as the definition of HUF says, grandfather has separate HUF, father has separate HUF, and son has separate HUF. Okay? Yes, Brian. Brian, your question? Is there any doubt? Brian, are you there? But in Mr. X, HUF grandfather not included. Yes, obviously not. In Mr. X, HUF grandfather will not be there, obviously. Maximum limit of HUF is same, 75,000 rupees for disability. If severe disability, then 1,25,000. Here, it is not like 80D. In 80D, there is two limits. That here, the limit is same. Okay, chalo. Let's move to the next section, 80DDB. Deduction in respect of medical treatment. Medical treatment. Look, 80D medical insurance premium. 80 double D maintenance and treatment of disabled person. And now 80 DDB, that is for medical treatment. That is for medical treatment. The section provides deduction to an SSE who is resident in India, being an individual or HUF. The deduction is available to an individual for medical expenditure incurred on himself or dependent. It is also available to HUF family for such expenditure incurred on its members. Now, this is the most important line. This is available to an individual for medical expenditure incurred on himself or dependent. Now, if I'm like taking any medical treatment, so I will also be eligible to take deduction under 80DDB. Now, individual means spouse, children, parents, brothers or sisters of the individual, or any of them, fully or mainly dependent on such individual for his support and maintenance. This word is most important. If children, here the children word is given, so children is dependent on him, then and then it can be, the deduction can be taken. But for example, Mr. X has son who is 22 years old and he is not dependent upon Mr. X, then Mr. X can't take any benefit under section 80DDB. Even in 80DD also, if a person is dependent only, then and then it can be allowable. Similarly, HUF, a member of HUF, fully or mainly dependent on such HUF for his support and maintenance. Payment qualified for deduction. Now, any amount actually paid for medical treatment of such disease or ailment as may be specified in the rules made in this behalf by the board for himself or a dependent. In case of SSE is an individual or for member of HUF. In case of SSE is HUF, will qualify for deduction. Now, most important part, the maximum amount available as deduction. The amount of deduction under this section shall be equal to the amount actually paid, or rupees 40,000, whichever is less. It means max to max, you will get the benefit of 40,000 rupees only under section 80DDB in respect of that previous year in which such amount was actually paid. In case of the amount is paid in respect of senior citizen person, that is a resident individual who is at the age of 60 years or more at any time during the relevant previous year, then the deduction would be the amount actually paid or rupees 1 lakh, whichever is less. So you have to remember the maximum limit 40,000 for individual citizen, 1 lakh for individual senior citizen. Max to max 40,000 or 1 lakh can be claimed. So now again 80D maximum benefit 25,000, but if senior citizen then 50,000. 80DD benefit is 75,000 or 1 lakh 25,000, depends upon the disability. 80DDB, the benefit is the deduction can be claimed is 40,000 rupees or 1 lakh 25,000 rupees. Again depend upon the citizenship. Senior citizen means depends on age. Done? Summary is given over here. the maximum deduction available. Is it clear, class? No such deduction shall be allowed unless the SSC obtains the prescription of such medical treatment from neurologist, oncologist, urologist, hematologist, or immunologist, or such other specialist as may be prescribed. Now, these are the some of the specialists from whom you can take the prescription. Like if it is for mind, like brain, any disability related to brain, then you will go for neurologist and so on. So you must require prescription. So this is all about section 80 double D B. Okay. So now D series is over. In D series, there are three sections: 80D, 80 double D, 80DD, B, and all are related to medical only. Now, let's begin with E, section 80E. Deduction in respect of interest on loan taken for higher education. Interest on loan taken on higher education. Now, E is related to education. Okay, you can remember like this because so many sections are there. C, section C, like 80C, 80 triple C, 80 CCD is related to pension, PPF, LIC. 80D, double D, double DB are related to medical. 80E, double E are related with education. Okay, something like this. You can relate all these sections. Now, section 80E, very easy section again. Section 80E provides deduction to an individual SSE in respect of any interest on loan paid by him in the previous year out of his income chargeable to tax. It means, for example, you have taken loan for higher education and you have paid interest. So, you will be eligible for deduction. Condition: the loan must have been taken for the purpose of pursuing higher education or for the purpose of higher education of his or her relative. It means I can take the loan for myself also and for my relative also. The loan must have been taken from any financial institution or approved charitable institutions. So you can take loan from any bank also, charitable institutions also, and you will get the benefit of section 80E. Now, what is the meaning of relative? Relative means for spouse, for children of individual, or the student for whom an individual is legal guardian. For example, you have adopted one student and you are paying their fees and you have taken loan. So it will also be eligible for deduction. But the most important part is interest only. Okay, you cannot take the benefit of principal amount. I think all of you have idea that installment amount will carry two things: interest as well as principal. So only interest portion will be allowed as deduction, not principal amount. Okay. Now, meaning of higher education. Higher education means any course of study, including vocational study, pursued after passing senior secondary examination, or senior secondary examination means 12th, or its equivalent from any school, board, university recognized by central government or state government or local authority, or by any other authority authorized by central government or state government or local authority to do so. Therefore, interest on loan taken for pursuing any course after 12th. Are you done? So, as you can see, after 12th or its equivalent will qualify for deduction under section 80E. Period of deduction. Deduction is allowed in computing the total income in respect of initial assessment year, the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the assessment starts paying the interest on loan, and 7 assessment years. This is most important. Immediately succeeding the initial assessment year, or until the interest is paid in full by the assessee, whichever is earlier. It means up to 7 years it will be allowed as deduction. Meaning of approved charitable institution: anything which is registered, any institution established for charitable purpose and approved by prescribed authority. Prescribed authority given below. Here, as per section 10, subsection 23C. And financial institution means any banking company in which Banking Regulation Act 1949 applies, including the bank or banking institution referred to in section 51, or any other financial institution which the central government may by notification in official gazette specify in this behalf. Section 80E. Are you getting this or not? Chalo class. Section 80E. Is it clear or not? Chalo, please write down. Okay. I am getting reply from only 2 students. 2 to 3 students are replying. What about others? Is it clear? If you are attending properly, then you have to participate. Very good. Chalo. So let's discuss illustration number 10. Mr. B has taken 3 educational loans. So 3 education loans are taken by Mr. B. The details of which are given below. For whose education loan was taken? So Mr. B himself, he is pursuing MBA. Son of Mr. B is doing BSc. Here it is given. And daughter of Mr. B is doing BA, Bachelor in Arts. Here, Bachelor in Science. Okay, so all the degrees are above 12th standard. Means after 12th, you can pursue MBA. After BCom or BBA, you can pursue MBA, or after BSc or after BA, or after 12th, you can do BSc and BA. So, chalo, qualifications are allowed. Now, amount of loan taken, 5 lakh, 2 lakh, 4 lakh respectively. Annual repayment of loan, 1 lakh, 40,000, 80,000. And annual repayment of interest. So, chalo, give me the answer. Compute the amount deductible under section 80E. Very simple answer. Compute the amount deductible under section 80E for assessment year 20 to 23. You have to read the question like this. First of all, education loan, it means 80E. Okay. Now, who is relatives? So, relative means husband, wife, brother, sister, and children. So, it is for brother, sister, husband, wife, children. Yes. Okay. So, these conditions are satisfied. It means now let's check the course. The course can be done after 12th. Answer is yes. It means all the conditions are satisfied. It means interest amount is eligible. Interest amount can be allowed as deduction under section 80E. So do simple total 20,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 18,000 rupees, 48,000 rupees will be available, eligible for deduction under section 80E. Sir, where it is written? Here, interest portion. You have to find out the figures only. Let's check the answer. Deduction under section 80E is available to an SSE, individual SSE, in respect of any interest paid by him in the previous year in respect of the loan taken for pursuing higher education or higher education of his spouse or children. Higher education means any course of study pursued after senior secondary examination. Okay, so here, first of all, definition should be clear. Relative means spouse, children, and individual himself or student who is adopted or legal guardian. The person is legal guardian. It means brothers, sisters are not there. Okay, pardon me. Okay, brothers, sisters are not there. So, therefore, the interest repayment in respect of all the above loans would be eligible for deduction, and that is 48,000 rupees. Done. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? As I have earlier said, only section 80C, triple C, CCD are confusing. Afterwards, all the sections are very small and very easy. Okay. Now, let's move to the 80EE, section 80EE. Now, deduction in respect of interest on loan borrowed for acquisition of house property by an individual. Interest on loan borrowed for acquisition of house property by an individual. Sir, in income from house property, we can claim deduction under section 24B also, right? Yes, correct. So why here again it is given? That will be cleared after this section, okay? Don't worry. Now, eligible SSE. An individual who has taken a loan for acquisition of residential house property from any financial institution. Interest payable on such loan would qualify for deduction under this section. So whatever interest paid will be allowed as deduction. But you have to consider four conditions. Four conditions are there. Which? First one, value of house should be less than or equal to 50 lakh rupees. It means house property that you are going to purchase should be less than or equal to 50,000 rupees. Next condition, the loan should be sanctioned during previous year 16-17. So in previous year 16-17 itself, the loan should be sanctioned. Sir, if it is sanctioned afterwards, then you cannot claim deduction under section 80EE. In this previous year only, the loan should be sanctioned. Loan sanctioned, third condition, is less than or equal to 35 lakh rupees. Now, house property less than or equal to 50 lakh. Loan sanction amount less than or equal to 35 lakh. And SSE should not own any residential house property on the date of sanction of loan. It means this should be his first house. The house that SSC is going to purchase should be his first house. Is it clear? Now, the benefit of deduction under this section would be available till the repayment of loan continues. જ્યાં સુધી લોન ભરાય નહીં ત્યાં સુધી એનો બેનિફિટ મળશે. It will be available till the loan should be repaid. Quantum of deduction. Now, the maximum deduction allowable is 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees, and the deduction is up to 50,000 rupees under section 80EE. Now, most important part is over and above. It's over and above the deduction up to 2 lakh rupees available under section 24. For interest paid in respect of loan borrowed for acquisition of self-occupied house property. Now, the link between income from house property, section 24B and section 80EE. It is over and above. It means you can claim both section 80EE also and section 24 also. Both the benefits are available. Maximum deduction allowable is 50,000 rupees. So 50,000 in section 80EE also and 2 lakh rupees for self-occupied house property in section 24 also. Why it is given that only self-occupied house property, let out property can be done or not? No. Why? Because SSC should not own any other residential house property. This should be his first residential house property. So obviously, anyone purchasing the first residential house, so it will be for residence self-occupation or not? So yes, obviously it is for self-occupied reason only. That's why 2 lakh rupees available under section 24 and 50,000 is available under section 80EE. Section is over. If loan sanctioned after 1617, Rudra Dasi, look, that we will discuss in next lecture, section 80EEA. For that, another section is given here. The conditions are little bit different. But if you check, the loan should be sanctioned by financial institution during the period between 1st April 19 to 31st March 2022. Okay, so there is separate section 80EEA. If you are not falling under section 80EE, then we will take 80EEA, and that we will discuss in next lecture. Okay, is it clear, Rudradat Singh? Any doubt, class? In today's session, we have done 80DD, 80DDB, 80E, 80EE, and one practical question of 80D at the beginning of our session, right? Is it clear or not, class? Any doubt? Chalo, I won't reply from majority of you. Okay. Okay. So if you have any doubt, so please you may raise your doubt. Otherwise, all of you are requested to write down your enrollment number. Thank you, all of you.